Good day to you, one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. You can tell that there's a spring in my stride. It's partly because I desperately need to go to the toilet, but also because it's the comments time. Which episode is it? 53. Ah, wonderful. Justin Hawkins Rides Again. I'm always reminded when I see the number 53 of the floods of 53, which... I sound like Alan Partridge now. Guess what? NordVPN have decided to be the rather important sponsor of today's video. And NordVPN is something that I wholeheartedly get behind. They obviously do great things like protecting us from online threats and keeping our data private and secure. But the thing I appreciate the most as a touring musician that's always going around the world is that I can always watch my favourite shows and movies and things from the various streaming platforms without them being blocked or censored depending on which country I'm in. And it definitely makes me feel safer and more protected when I'm using public Wi-Fi, because sometimes those free public Wi-Fis, they're actually traps, and what they're doing is intercepting and harvesting sensitive information. With NordVPN, they actually stop that from happening, and they encrypt your data and keep you safe away from the prying eyes of the nefarious underlords that operate just beneath the facade of the internet as we know it. They're always doing naughty stuff, and it's good to avoid that. And NordVPN can swat them like the internats that they are with a GNAT. See? Right now, if you use my special link, you can get 4 months extra by buying a 2-year plan. It's risk-free thanks to a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you break it down, that costs about the same as one soothing cup of delicious coffee, or if you're feeling spicy, a ginger shot per month. If you're thinking about getting NordVPN, I strongly implore you to use my link, nordvpn.com/JHRA, because that will make me look better in the eyes of the bosses at NordVPN, and perhaps I'll get a gold star or just a warm sense of achievement, because I will have saved you from internet woe. I've saved you. Anyway, the link is in the description, so give it a go. So I'm going to read a few comments and missives and react to them open-heartedly, which is what I do, you know. Wiley 8347 says, given Netflix has just launched their Robbie Williams documentary series along with uploading the live at Knebworth concert film, would you be able to post a video with some of your memories as a support act for these Knebworth gigs? Well, my memory resides just there. That's the only memory I have, apart from, there was one. I saw Robbie Williams with his mates in the catering, and I was in a habit in those days of just running up and smacking people on the arse. Not the sort of thing you can get away with nowadays, but I did it on that day. He turned around like he wanted to punch whoever it was, and then he realised it was me and backed down a little bit, but it didn't. It kind of soured my relationship with him a little bit, and I love Robbie Williams. I was really grateful for the opportunity to play to so many people, and basically we were famous the next day, and it was all because of him. And that was supposed to be an affectionate smack on the arse, but I misjudged the velocity with which I smacked it. I hope that helps. Jay Cooksey 2003 said, question from Ben, my 3-year-old and your newest fan. How did they get on top of the mountain on Love Is Only a Feeling video? For your information, awesome show in Denver. Can't wait for your return. Thanks, Jay Cooksey. And also, thanks for the super thanks. Lovely. We got up there via helicopter. You'll be pleased to hear. None of this walking for rock stars of our stature. We simply helicopter around these days. Those days. That was 20 years ago now. Anyway, I hope that clears it up. Sophie Wynn1 says, if you've been asked to audition, what is the best way to get hired as a new member at an audition? What's the best way to make the right impression? I've never known, to be honest. I think I've failed an audition to study jazz at Derby University, which is probably for the best, really, because I ended up being a fucking rock star instead, didn't I? But I think best thing to do is not try to make too many jokes. Don't try and impress with humour. Just keep your head down. I'm not sure. No, don't worry too much about what you're playing. Just think about how you're playing it. And also remember, the golden rule of any instrument is the wrong note played with the requisite confidence becomes the right note. It doesn't matter what you do. It's just literally how you do it. Thanks for your comment. Dasmoose6174 said, I'd like to see you add some chimes to your air drum kit, please, mate. Okay, that is a really good call. You mean like a a bar of wind. I suppose it's a rack, is it, or what would it be called? An embarrassment of wind chimes. I've seen a band, I forgot what they're called now, Walkway, I think they were called, like a local band from East Anglia, and the guitarist was playing like a really sensitive solo during a ballad, and then he did this with his foot, and just twinkled the wind chimes. It was really quite impressive, and it didn't matter what he did from that point on. I was in love, it was fucking fantastic. Greg OP Hughes 4118, not to be confused with the other 4117 Greg OP Hugheses, asks, why does the Hoff cardboard cutout have dents in the crotch area? It does, doesn't it? I think I was demonstrating some self-defense moves. I do a lot of stuff on my Patreon, like Keep Fit and self-defense and just a little bit of martial arts and a lot of martial dance as well. Katas and so on, just to get their blood rushing, and I probably just punched him in the nuts at one point, out of sheer frustration. But that's quite a well built. Oh, you can't see it when I do that. Quite a well built cutout, really. His face is perfectly intact, apart from I did put a somewhat cumbersome hat upon his head, and now it seems to have folded a bit, adding a wisdom wrinkle across there, like he's been thinking very carefully about his existence as a cardboard cutter. Sandra 8212 says, thank you for your fantastic work on that channel as a musician, and as a musician, of course. It always cheers me up. Maybe you can also make a little wish come true and answer 10 questions in 20 seconds on next comments day. Don't think too long about it. What do you prefer? Okay, here we go. Shower or bath? Shower. Cheeseburger or hot dog? Neither. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Series or films? Films. Festival, stage or small venue? I love both. Summer or winter? Summer? I don't know, actually. Switzerland, they're both brilliant. Christmas or New Year's Eve? I think New Year's Eve, because there's all fireworks. It's brilliant. Pizza or pasta? Pasta, because you can have aglio olio e peperoncini, which is completely vegan and delicious. Beach or mountains? I grew up next to the beach, now I live next to the mountains. Oh, I can't decide. Both. Beatles or Rolling Stones? Don't ask me questions like that. Beatles, but only just. Thank you. Ataterson 6992. Not to be confused with the other 6,991. I have to ask, is your room decorated with shirtless photos of yourself? Pre-full body ink? Just wondering. Let me check. Actually, yeah, that one over there is a painting, which I didn't commission the painting, but it was done, and then I saw it online somewhere and had my art broker secure it for me. Pre-tat, me with a striper t-shirt looking seductively over my shoulder, sticking my arse out, and there's me with Robbie Williams, but that's my brother up there, so it's not all me. Obviously, I'm a fan of my brother's work as well. Visiting Yorkshire says, question for your next comments video. Have you ever consciously set out to create a production sound to appeal to the American market? It's been suggested that One Way Ticket to Hell was given an American-friendly sound. Is that true, and did it work in the way that Permission to Land didn't? I don't think it's a conscious effort that we made, but it is how it turned out. I mean, it does tend to be like, whenever I speak to our American enthusiasts, they always say that that's the record that they connected with the most, and I'm always surprised by that, because I don't think the songs are as strong as the first album. But yeah, it seems to be the most popular one in America. Maybe that's why, but Roy Thomas Baker produced it. He's not American. He's as English as they come. He's nearly as English as I am. So yeah, can't explain that really, but that is how it turned out. So it's quite a good observation, but astute in a way, but it wasn't intentional. In fact, we didn't even tour that album. We didn't even go to America with that record, so maybe it was a slightly wasted opportunity, down to my own misbehaviour. Bronster B 9702, such a great channel. I'd love for you to answer this question for comments day in the next one. Have you met any celebs that are a huge fan of The Darkness? I've met people who are very, very famous who have said that, and I've never really believed them. I think my own sort of imposter syndrome doesn't allow me to assimilate information like that, but there definitely are some high-profile folk who claim to be enthusiastic about what we do, and I'm always like, yeah, whatever, mate, get on with it. Yeah, of course. I love your work too, Mr. DiCaprio, not Leonardo, his brother Richard, or his cousin, I'm not sure. Arsenal, brilliant, says, for next comments day, do you ever create an amazing riff or song, then when the only lyrics that come to you are silly, do you ever stop and think, no, this is too good to be daft with, I should do this one properly, say something resonant because the music is too good to make into something funny? Do you ever have that inner debate? It's actually an outer debate that occurs between myself and my bandmates. But the thing is, whenever I do say something silly and it turns out to be like catchy and silly, in the effort that we make to try and find something that beats it, it always falls short. And it's usually the sort of the silly one that we go with because it's kind of like, well, that's the one that feels good, you know? But yeah, we've wasted so many potential lasting hit singles by saying things like shitting out solid gold in choruses, much to my brother's chagrin. I think he laughingly says that he's pissed off about that. I think he knows that that was the right thing to do, even if it meant not selling any records, which it didn't. You know, but we're still proud of it, and it's in the set. So there you go. So I want to say thanks to the people who gave super thanks in the last month. There's quite a lot of you, but I'm going to rifle through these. Sandra 8212, Glory Vziz 258. Dolling Huntress, Brian Meek, JCC 455, Wickerman, Roof P123, Morek L Gust, Crazy Cat Lady J, Chris Armstrong, Rick Gangi, Fast Robert, J Cooksey, Sandrick, Sabu, Dr. Stephanie Mitrano, who I met recently and made an idiot of myself in front of, Veggie23, Sandra Peristine, John L. French, Ajaxo Fee, Robert Martin, Charlie Van Stee, blah blah, Anya Coco, April Kurtz, Is That the Time Already, Noodle Mutt, and Criviette. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. And I'll buy myself something suitably nice with those lovingly donated dollars. Really appreciate it. Yeah, that's it. Comments day. Keep them coming, guys. And I'll always react as honestly and as quickly as I can because I definitely need to go to the toilet for a pee. It's natural. Justin Hawkins rides again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, join the mailing list, and visit the link that's in the description to find tickets for live Justin Hawkins Rides Again for the first time, which is happening next year in theatres all across and around the UK. I love you all, and see you on the ice. Adieu. Nice one. Take it easy. Yeah, all right. Good. Nice. Okay.